Well guys, it's nearly the new year and there's only one thing left to do. We've been out on the water for the last few days and absolutely killed it on the crays. We got out for a dive, Quinny jumped in the water and absolutely killed it. We got our bag limit of crays for Chrissy. We got some nice Harleys, we got some nice Foxies. It was just an epic Christmas and an epic feed. But I haven't seen the old man in a little while and I haven't been up to Gingin. This is where he lives. He's got this amazing farm up here in Gingin. He's got some of the best fishing grounds on the planet, just 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from his house. So this time last year we got out here and absolutely killed it on the pinkies. Actually, here he comes right now, the old fella on the tractor. So tomorrow morning, first light, we're going to head out, we're going to try and recreate it and get some nice big pinkies. If that doesn't work, we're going to get out deep and try hit those outer reefs. But guys, stay tuned, we're going to bring you some fishing action pretty soon. Well guys, here we are. This is just the most amazing location. Look at the sunrise. It doesn't get any better than that. I'm out here with the old man, like I said, and we don't get to fish a lot these days together, so hopefully today, like last year, we can make it fire. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you at the other end. It's not so bad in here, that's pretty stiff easily.
Yeah, I was expecting to see white cats. Nothing there. I think we're drifting a little bit too.
Yeah, we are. We'll catch on this rock and it's not too bad if we can pick a dewy out of here or something and just move across to the right. How crazy is that? We've moved less than 100 metres and we're 15 metres of water. Tripled the water depth. Come on, big snapper, Dad. Start him off with a bang.
I don't think it's very big.
No, it's still on there. He's swimming at you. It's a good fish. No denying that. Swimming straight at you. Put the brakes on him. Yep, snapper. Oh, what happened there? Well, maybe we should have checked that rig. It's been 12 months since it's been in the water.
It was a snapper anyway.
Yeah, it was a nice little snapper.
Yeah, scored them straight away.
Dad, 12 months almost to the dot and they're here. I think we make this a yearly tradition. What do you reckon?
Yeah, you're right.
Not big yet, but we're getting there. Although I prefer to catch these little ones and we'll release the big ones. It's yum. Nice little start to the session. Dad just lost a nice fish actually, that was probably a good 600. Oh, he's just under. Champignon. Oh, what was that? Big splash in the back of the boat. Oh, that might be kingies.
No, that was
This
my
is a snapper.
That was my bait link.
Oh, was it? Fish are on fire. Look at that. It's getting better than this, Dad. How good is this?
Yeah.
2 seconds into the anchor. Spot number 2, obviously.
Good, yeah.
Actually, right. Only a popper. Only another popper.
That's right.
That's legal, but that's going to be a good eater. we're here for a feed, so I'm happy to leave the big ones alone today, to be honest. How lucky are we in WA, guys, that we can just come out here to the back of our doorstep and catch class fish like that. Over east, that's a good size fish. Here, that's a puppy, but I'm not going to complain, Dad, because that's going to be good eating. Rat, but I'm not going to complain. We just pulled off anchor, so might be able to pull something big out of there yet.
On the rag?
Yeah. Learned from that first spike now.
Ah! It's alright, mate, no worry.
Oh, we were just on the perfect spot, and we're not going to have long for that snapper bite. It's going to last on the 10 minutes. Oh, we're drifting fast. Have to go reset.
Okay. Alright.
So just a bit of an update. We pulled anchor right on the crucial time. It was right on that bite time, and we got a long charging tide today, which means it's going to be very difficult from here on, but fish just came through. I missed the bite, and hopefully we can put one or two more decent sized snapper in the boat before that sun gets too high. Yeah, fingers crossed that wind dies off like it's supposed to. Well guys, as you can see, it's absolutely blowing its guts out. The weatherman got it completely wrong. But this is basically Lancel, Western Australia, guys, and it blows its ass off 363 days a year. So we're gonna wrap it up here. A little bit of action for the morning. Kep did the best abalone cook up that I've ever tried in my life just the other day. We got out for a dive on the season opening and did really well. So stay tuned, I'm gonna roll that on now. In the meantime, we've got plenty more fishing action on the way, so stay tuned.
How lucky are we to live in WA? I mean, honestly, not only do we have no restrictions, we've got abalone on our doorstep, and I had a blast diving with Matty for these. They're just something that they're just too expensive for me to have in the restaurant. There's something I'm not really going to buy a great deal of, but when I can go and forage something like this, I love playing with them. Now, they tend to be a little bit tough at times if you don't cook them right. Today I'm going to do a bit of a slower braised dish. It's an Asian style dish, Asian inspired at the very least. We're going to put these in for around, look, generally the rule is for abalone, if they're frozen, you do them for about 5 hours, and if they're fresh, we do them for about an hour. These are fresh, so we're going to cook these for about an hour. I've got a bit of beautiful local mushrooms. It's all about supporting local at the moment. We've got some oyster mushrooms and some shiitake. We've got a bit of ginger. We've got some daikon, some chives. I've got a bit of sake, which I'm looking forward to using just to deglaze the pan. And a bit of chicken stock. Now you can use veggie stock, but chicken stock's sweet, it's beautiful, and it does add to seafood dishes. So first thing I'm going to do is get this on, and we'll put the pan on high. We'll just get that nice and hot. It's quite a thick pan, and I'm just going to start prepping up these ingredients for this dish. Now, onion, just going to slice. Push that to the side while we wait for our pan to get hot. A bit of garlic here, and I'm just going to crush the garlic. We'll do about 4 cloves for this recipe. If you don't know the cheats way to doing garlic, it's simple. Rock salt over the top, and you basically crush over the top of it like this. And the salt will draw the moisture from the garlic at the same time as you crushing it, and it's much quicker than trying to slice it. You'll see how fast, once you start to draw the moisture out of the garlic, you'll see how fast it breaks up. Just don't cut yourself with your sharp knife. Just like that, we got minced garlic, nice and easy. Put that to the side as well. Ginger. Now, fresh ginger, you shouldn't need to skin. Honestly, this isn't the freshest looking ginger I've bought in a while, so I'm just going to take the majority of the skin off of it. The skin starts to thicken a little bit if it's not fresh, and it just won't really add any flavour to the dish, but it adds texture, and there's textures you want and there's textures you don't. So we'll just thinly slice this ginger up like so. Stack it all up together. And we're just going to dice this all up as quickly as we can. And the smell of ginger being cut, I just can't get enough of it. It's just the best. Alright, so that's the ginger done. Next will be the mushrooms. Now we don't need to really cut these into fine pieces, just into nice big slices so that they sort of hold their texture, because they're going to get cooked for quite a while. If you cut them too small, they're just going to break down into the dish. So just like that. But with the oyster mushrooms that I have here, I'm not even going to cut them up. I'm just going to leave them whole. So I can feel that pan starting to get hot over here. I'm going to add a good measure of olive oil. Now I tend to cook with olive oil more than anything else, just because it's healthier. It's better for you than canolas, and I think it just adds a better flavour to most dishes anyway. So first thing in is your onion. That's a nice hot pan, that's what you want. Onion in, then your mushrooms, and we're going to basically colour them up. We don't want to brown the onion, just want to sort of fry it off, get it translucent. Oyster mushrooms in, beautiful. Now these mushrooms, they just, as they get hot, they just suck all the oil up. So don't be scared to add a little bit more oil. Oil's not going to kill you, especially good quality olive oil like this. We're just putting a bit of colour on everything at the moment. Just getting a little bit of colour into these mushrooms. They're going to slow braise for some time, so that's enough for those. I've got my ginger and garlic. I'm going to put that straight in, nice and hot. And straight away, flavour, the intensity of the smell just increases right there, just from the ginger and garlic. Now, I'm basically just sweating all this off, and I'm going to start getting my abalone open over here. And we're going to do the same thing to the abalone that we've done to the onion and the mushrooms. We're going to just put a bit of colour on it, season it and sear it up, and then we'll deglaze the pan to sort of suck all the flavours out of the pan and add them into the abalone. Now abalone notoriously can be chewy, but they also can be a little bit flavourless. And that's why with a lot of Asian dishes, they'll suck up flavours. So all these flavours from the mushrooms and ginger and garlic will end up in the abalone. Now most of the Asians that buy your abalone, that import them, they buy them for the texture. There's something about abalone texture, you can't replicate it, it's incredible. So that's the main part of the dish here. I'm just going to throw these abs in. Now I've got about, I think 8 abalone here. Okay, now we can colour everything up. And you'll actually see, if you look in the pan, that it's starting to catch and burn on the pan. And that's great. That's actually flavour. It caramelizes. It looks like it's burning, it's not. It caramelizes onto the pan, and that really is where all the flavour's generated from in this dish. Now, if you just look in there, Matty, you can see, getting a little bit of colour on these abs. Not too much. You can see inside the pan how it's starting to create that sort of coloured effect. Now that's great. Now is the time to add our sake. Now you can use Shaoxing Asian cooking wine, but it's not gluten-free, so Matt can't eat it. So for me, I'm going to use sake today, so I can sort of, if you guys wanted to make a gluten-free dish, this is a cracker. Sake is gluten-free, it's made with rice. So we're going to put about half a cup in. Now straight away you'll see it start to bubble up. You'll also notice that that wine releases all of the stuff off the bottom of the pan, and what you do is you get in there and you help the process along by scraping it all off the bottom of the pan, because realistically that is flavour and you're trying to release it off the pan. You can see the colour that the liquid starts to go just from the pan. Beautiful. How good does that smell? Stunning. All right, I'm going to bring this back up to the boil now. And we're basically just going to reduce the wine, the sake down. And once it's starting to thicken right up, that wine, that's when I'm going to add my chicken stock. Now, like I was saying before, chicken stock, lovely and sweet, does add to seafood dishes. I use chicken stock sometimes in my seafood besh and stuff like that. I really enjoy using chicken stock. But abalone is just one of those special shellfish where you can utilize these sorts of things. You can use abalone in so many different ways. But today my main goal is to try and soften these abs up and show people that tend to think abalone are quite rubbery, how beautiful they can be. All right, so we got some black peppercorn here, a little bit of rock salt, good pinch. Just going to crush that up. Just going to nicely, that the wrong way, nicely season this dish up. And if you just look inside there, you'll see now that the sake's just started to thicken up beautifully, and now it's time to add our chicken stock. Now, just so you guys know our base recipe, I'm going to probably go a full cup in. All right, but we want mostly for everything to be covered, so it's nearly there. Let's add another cup. Yeah, that's about right. So it's a braise. Now, I'm going to bring this back up to the boil. Once it starts bubbling, I'm going to turn it back down to a very slow simmer. I'm going to walk away from it. I'm going to just let it do its thing for at least an hour. Maybe it'll take longer. But basically, once we start seeing those abalones just tear apart and be soft, that's when we've got the dish we want. And I'll show you how to finish it from there. So the dish is nearly there. It's starting to soften up beautifully. It's reduced down. I've got a bit of daikon here, which is basically Chinese radish. I'm going to peel this quickly. Now, it's quite a bitter vegetable, but the chicken stock's added so much sweetness to this, I think it's going to be just great. Just going to use a little bit of it, cut it into pieces like this, and that will be enough for our dish. And this doesn't take very long to cook, so I'm just going to put this in for the last 5 minutes. And let me tell you, the abalone, I just pushed on one before with the spatula and it went straight through it. So I know they're nearly ready. They've softened up exactly like I planned. I'm just going to cook this daikon out for another 5 minutes. Then we'll be looking at eating it. So we'll get back to you in a sec. All right, beautiful. The dakon's cooked out nicely now. Abs are beautiful. They're separating from themselves. The mushrooms have just created that lovely brown color. I'm gonna start plating. So, hopefully this isn't too hot. No, it's fine. We're gonna basically get all the liquid into the bowl because we don't want to miss any of this. This is all flavor. And I'm just gonna spoon it into the bowl here. Look at that. Look at the beautiful colors. The smell's astronomical. So, we've got a lovely dish there. I'm just going to put some chopped chive over the top. Not too much, because I don't want to add too much extra flavour to this. It's got enough. So, some chives over the top. And a bit of green chilli, just for a bit of heat. I like that to be raw, just for that sort of raw chili flavour. One raw green chili. And there we go. WA abalone with a bit of a difference. So, I mean, generally I would normally just sear these off with a little bit of garlic butter, but I find them a little bit rubbery. These are going to fall apart, but don't take my word for it. I'm going to get the boys to come and have a taste, and I think they're going to enjoy what they see here. Come on guys, get over here, come and try it. So we got Jess, who doesn't eat seafood at all. She's going to have a go at it.
You're going to go for a mushroom.
The other Jess, who probably will enjoy it, and of course Quinny, definitely going to enjoy it.
I'll try anything.
Who's the seafood master. I've got to have a go myself. Look at that. Yum.
The flavour's
So,
really
The
good.
flavour's
Yeah.
amazing.
Flavour's great. And the abs have just soaked it up. And that's what abs are, they're texture. They've got that lovely, you know, chew through bite. But let me just grab the camera. Matty, you better get in there and
Piece of mushroom.
All right, I'm going to do this. This is the worst bit about being behind the camera, guys. You miss out on all the fun. But I have to try this. I'll just go hands. How's that? That melts in your mouth. That's like butter, isn't it? Oh my God, yum. Okay, so in my opinion, I've had abs cooked maybe 4 or 5 different ways. My favorite being garlic and butter. That just blows everything out of the water, guys. Absolutely sensational. Kep, you're a legend, mate. Thank you so much. Can't wait for day 2 of Abalone season 2020.